So this is forming the Mastermind group. So I had a lot of reservations about doing this video. Me and the Queen didn't quite see eye to eye because she wanted me to go back and deal with something that I already dealt with, which is the striking UAW workers. Her concern is that the cabal has set in place a series of Manchurian candidates. These Manchurian candidates' job are to try to initiate civil unrest to upset the peace. One of the cues was a workers' strike was supposed to be a cue to trigger the law enforcement to begin doing what they was doing a few years ago, indiscriminately shooting people. And so they were hiring sociopaths that had went through certain training in the force, and then they were acclimated in as a regular officer, but they're nothing like the rest of the police officers. They got a whole different psychological makeup, and it was fabricated using techniques developed through the government's MK Ultra program. So the only way right now to avert that tragedy of the police, those sleepers going into action, is to get the workers back to work. And she wanted me to develop a mastermind group. And she had Portia send me a lengthy research this morning on the 5G matrix and the money matrix of it all, and how we will be psychologically tied in to the money, to the wealth, to our birthright inheritance as the earthborn children of the sun. And so we have a birthright to claim. And to initiate the claim, we have to activate our fifth dimensional mental framework. And it only can be done by using the power of unity. And so you hear Napoleon Hill talk about developing the mastermind group, and he's talking about keys in the video. Those keys were the keys to unlock fifth dimensional mentality, the framework of mind that comes in the fifth dimension. When you are into the quantum realm of thinking with other humans, we all sink into a ginormous power force, and we begin to establish balance throughout the whole entire earth realm. So the beginning, this is all alchemy. The alchemy goes back to ancient Kemet, where we were before the judgment, and now we are post-judgment, redemption. Now it's in the recovery phase, but they still have forces that's adversely approaching us, and if we don't do our part, they will end up taking control again, and it'll set us back. So we argued, but she made sense, and then she pulled the mama card on me. Well, baby, you told your mama that you was going to do everything you supposed to do. And I said, Mama, I did. The people think I'm insane. They think I don't know what I'm talking about. And she said, baby, look, you got to be the good shepherd. What I need you to do is prepare a table in the enemy's face, and the enemy won't be able to do anything about it. And I said, well, how do you expect me to do that? And she said, you the monkey king, son. Use the 100 monkey effect. Create your mastermind group. did you forget your lessons? I said, no, ma'am. I didn't forget my lessons. I remember the Mastermind group, and I remember the 100 Monkey Effect. And so she told me that I needed to get to work, do what I said I was going to do, and make sure that the workers are justly compensated. So she told me I needed to do a survey. The funny thing about it is I couldn't find a simple survey maker. When I was looking at various ones, they was like, take too long, you got to join this and all that. And then I found one, and the name of it was something like monkey monkey surveys or something like that. But it's on my page, and we're going to get to what that's for in a minute. So I'm going to briefly go over what the mastermind group is, how it works, and how we are going to use it with this survey, right? Also, briefly, I'm going to start off, I'm going to do a couple more invites here because I got more than I normally do, but I got quite a bit in. But I'm going to explain the 100 Monkeys first. Now, everybody remember Tupac, and he had 50 niggas tattooed across his stomach. But what they didn't know is what it meant. And it was half, right? Because of what had to take place. It was half, 50 niggas, and then you needed your 50 sisters, right? So the 50 sisters had to be assembled by a chaos queen, which turned out to be Miss Portia Green. So I'm following all of the signs, and I'm seeing all of the people that Mama told me to look for, right? So the 100 Monkey Effect worked like this. In a group setting, you have what you call a group mind, or what they call a universal mind. Now, when you're trying to attain Christ consciousness, when you're trying to move your thinking up into the thinking of God, which we calling it now a fifth dimension, a fifth dimensional framework, where the fifth dimensional mind links us all together on the path of unity. And this is what we was talking about, all of the conscious community being the problem now because they still bickering. But right now we finna show them. The 100 Monkey Effect is most effective when it's 100 people in the same situation, circumstance, or condition first. That's the strongest force of it. If, let's say, I get 100 UAW workers, it automatically takes on a life of its own, and it becomes to a point of what they call critical mass in the psychology, in the mind, in the universal mind, in the Christ consciousness. It becomes a undeniable force. That's when it says in that, all of the people that go to church probably heard him say, when two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am also. This is the Queen of Heaven and Earth that's making this statement. And they often call her Jesus, just so y'all know. And so, with the 100 Monkey Effect, 100 auto workers sends it into critical mass, and it takes hold in the minds of everybody who has a job. It's secondary, which goes to the mastermind group, is when you're using the people that's not in the core group. Non-UAW workers is where we come at to support them as non-workers using the mastermind group. All we have to do is have the workers' interest in being justly and fairly compensated for their labor by the companies they work for. Secondary, we will fall under the mastermind group at that point. As long as we're sincere and we want the best for them, and it's not selfish for us, when we want the best for them, it has to happen. This is the rule of the universe. And this is why he kept bringing up the keys when he talked about the mastermind group. And so, Portia, if you're watching, can you post the survey in the comments so that they can share it to all of the people that that's interested in supporting the mastermind group? Now, what happens is this is the beginning of the ascension. Everybody who participate, if you do it with a sincere heart, some shit about to happen. You about to get superpowers when it works. It has to get all the way through to critical mass. When you understand critical mass, it works like this. It's called in African cultural dance, we call it dancing up a frenzy. So what that means is that everybody is dancing until they reach a point of heightened awareness, total submersion with the total group of dancers. The whole dancing body becomes one. Hey, Kim. And so it's like a flock of birds that all make the same turn and they never collide. This is the mastermind group, the 100 Monkey Effect in motion. Thank you, Portia. And so she just posted the link for the survey. So the 100 Monkey Effect going to take place when 100 UAW workers take, as soon as they take the survey, it's going to take effect for them. For the rest of the workers globally, we support them by taking the survey with the intent of fair, balanced labor practice between corporate and laborer, where the workers' unions can represent them fairly and justly without undermining the interests of the company, but without undermining the interests of the worker. It has to be mocked. It has to be balanced, and it has to be fair. And we have to feel that in our heart when we take the survey. That we have to know in our mind that this is not a selfish agenda. This is make everything balance again on earth. When we understand that from the mastermind group, this is the support that we give the 100 monkeys or the 100 UAW workers who eventually take the survey. And so we share the survey and we write our own post about the mastermind group, about the good intentions of balancing the scales between the corporate elites and the laborer who actually earns the wealth that the corporate elites live off of. And so it's simple, because she said I had to make it easy or people would be intimidated to participate. The easiest thing they can do is answer 14, 15 questions. It's probably not even that many. It's probably like 8. But these 8 questions are, 1, you agree that the worker should have this thing, or 2, you disagree that the worker should have this thing. And it's not about anything other than people that go to work should be treated humanely, justly, and fairly. Nobody on this earth should take advantage of the working people because they are willing to earn a living. That is wrong, and that is in violation of every divine order of the universe. So by us exercising the mastermind principle in supporting the UAW workers and encouraging them to activate the 100 Monkey Effect by telling them to take the survey if they are a unionized worker, and both of them taking place at the same time, it then has what you call a butterfly effect globally, where it traps the minds of all of the workers into a fair and just communication with the corporations that's oppressing people around the world with sweatshops, slaves, prison labor, etc. All these things are balanced, but it starts at the bottom with the laborer, with the grassroots, the common person. That lady I stand next to on the line building this car, and they say we make too much money, and they promised her that she would have any unexpected overtime. She has no child care in place, and they want her to work overtime after they promised, but they went back on their word. And the first worker that can't fulfill the smallest obligation to the company is tossed away like trash. And mama said you can't throw people away like trash. So for the worker, we activate the mastermind group in support of the UAW. But also because we workers and we all have to earn a living. Struggle is prescribed for man, and some struggle is labor, work. I worked next to these people. I've seen the injuries that they get. I've seen the struggles they go through with rogue management. I have directly observed it as a worker. I was brought in silence to assess the worker condition. I have been here studying the lifestyle of the human to determine if how we are living is according to the code of righteousness, and it is not. And then I had to find the simplest means in order to balance everything out so that the people could participate in their own ascension and resurrection. Excuse me, y'all. And so she said, prepare the table in the presence of their enemies. So in other words, what she's telling me, and she's telling me to be the good shepherd, is to do this video so that people understand what they're doing, how it works, why it works. This is the rule of the universe, that the same people that we are using this to defend ourselves against has been secretly using it as a tool to oppress us. I went and got all of the keys so we can unlock all of the locks. That's what I was supposed to do. That's what I done. This right here is the key to the fifth dimension. To reach critical mass is the goal. By the mastermind group effect and the 100 monkey effect both being interplayed at the same time, all alchemically tied to a survey. All you have to do is have the interests of working men and women all over the world in your heart, and that they be treated fairly for their labor. Fairly for their labor. They should not have to strike after 30, 40 years of consecutive concessions. They should not have to strike behind 10 years of consecutive record-breaking profits. That is obscene in the presence of all who are righteous. So our only job to support the worker is to exercise the mastermind group and to use the mastermind principle to support them until they can reach the 100 monkey effect and reach critical mass. At that point, the company is going to want to only deal with me, because they're going to want to talk to the motherfucker that put this shit together, and they already know who it is because we've already made contact. They already expecting it. This could have been took care a long time ago, but the people don't understand that this is beyond me as a physical human. I'm just following directions. I am being told what to do. I'm not doing this, is not from me. I'm just following the instructions, and I just developed the mental aptitude to be able to perceive it by years and years and years of study, dedication, and hard work. This wasn't easy. A lot of sacrifice went into it for me to be in the position to tell y'all how to awaken the planet Earth from the slumber by balancing out the labor force with the corporate elites. Once this is done, everything fucking changes in an instant at critical mass. We all are in the fifth dimension who are worthy to ascend. A lot of rotten people are not going to make it. Do not be offended. Do not be hurt. They had their opportunity at redemption. They either failed or they were not human. They were imposters. So now, I'm going to go over it again. I'm going to focus now on the mastermind group. So the mastermind group principle is the same as the Bible verse, when two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am present also. This has been researched thoroughly through sociology, and it was first written and linked by a French author named Gustave Le Bon in a book titled The Crowd, where they were researching how to use the mastermind group, or how the mastermind principle affect masses of people. By being consumed in the group, they lose the sense of identity of the ego, what they call the self, but it's the ego. And everybody wanted to know how to overcome this beast that they call the ego. Be kind to others and give to them the things that you believe in your heart they deserve according to the code of righteousness. And those are the same things that were going to come back to you tenfold. You got to want for your brother or your sister exactly what you want for yourself. If you don't want the best for those who want the best for you, you're going to wreak a negative effect upon yourself. So, when 100 auto workers take the survey, the 100 monkey effect kicks in with auto workers around the world, and they all united instantly at the 100 monkey effect. We support them with the mastermind group, because when we are all on the same page, we create an unstoppable force. As you can remember, even white people felt the energy from the Million Man March when it took place. They told me that's how I know. They felt that energy. Now, from wherever we are, being on the same page at the same time, we will exalt everything into a fifth dimensional framework. And it will change all of this dark, evil, wicked shit will start turning around right in front of y'all eyes. It'll melt away like wax in a flame. This is the grand fucking finale. Get the workers compensated. Hello, fifth dimension. Goodbye, misery. Set this fucking shit off. Let's get it over with. So, in the comments, Portia shared the link to the survey. Take the survey. If you agree, in the first box, mark agree. If you don't agree, in the second box, that's the disagree box. But everybody that works should want a worker to have what a worker deserves. Nobody should go to work and be broke down and can't retire because the company is cutting off their pension plan. Or they can't get health care if they retire sufficient enough to sustain their lifestyle with the injuries sustained from working like an animal, or worse than what we call a slave. We can't keep tolerating, accepting less than what we deserve. We never have to resort to foolishness, hey, Nee, to get what we rightfully deserve. We have the inertia of the universe tied up in the possibility of connecting through this mastermind group, and they've never seen a force of collective minds in harmony and unity and solidarity from across all walks of life. The black ones and the white ones, the Mexican ones and the Chinese ones, the French ones and the Italian ones, the Democratic and the Republicans, the straight ones and the gray ones, the Christians and the Muslims. They all agree, no matter where you at, their workers are the lifeblood of life on earth. Without the worker, we cannot survive. We cannot build these empires. We cannot build these infrastructures. We need workers, and workers need to be treated justly and fairly. If you can't treat the worker justly and fairly, you do not need a position of power. We do not need oppressors in power. We do not need tyrants holding a guillotine of poverty over our heads in order to give us what we rightfully deserve as a person that's creating the wealth. They calculate the wealth using fractional reserve wealth calculation. The same exact calculation is fractional reserve banking, right? They turn around and they measure your calorie burn in order to determine how much fuel you burning, so they know what your value is at its body temperature level. They know you are not getting your just due. They already know. But they don't think or did not believe that one of us workers would have the key to unlock the prison they have us in as workers. The fear of our loss of our job security, our inability to take care of ourselves if we get sick. We got to go to work sick. This is wrong. You don't make people come to work and out of the threat of losing everything they worked for because you don't want to pay them while they off. You have that can be supplemented without overstretching the greed of the company. They only care about themselves. If the worker don't come together, we are damned to permanent poverty. I don't care about poverty, and I don't care about living in lavish luxury. What I care about is all of these single mothers that's working on the land. I give a fuck about that, because they got to work and raise children and keep a household. I got to watch this shit as a man, and I can't feel too masculine seeing this shit, and I can't change the fucking condition. I can't feel like a man if I don't speak up in the face of the adversity and I know the fucking solution to the problem. Hey, Betty. So it's like my father told me growing up. He said, if a man sees something wrong and he know how to fix it, he's supposed to fix it. And I tried to ask them if they needed some help. There was a big union hall meeting, and I said, who got the plan? They looked at me like I was from outer space for asking for the plan. Well, here they are, down there trying to negotiate without a list of demands. They come into the company not telling the company what the worker deserves, but asking the company in turn, what are they offering the worker? This is the wrong approach. This is the wrong approach. I mean that the worker don't know what he's worth. The worker has no inherent understanding of his own value as a laborer. So the company gonna run over you. You didn't come with no demands. You didn't come with a plan. You just went. You just went. You just popped up at their front door with a plate. Talking about, can you get a piece of the pie? You don't even know what flavor pie they serving, but you want a piece. You know? Product-wise, it would be nice if the auto workers understand this, that Lordstown should get a return of the Buick Regal as a regular production car, but they should get a Grand National as a limited edition annual put out, and that car will make plenty money for the company, and they would like it in the end if they done that. And I got enough sense to see it, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because it's going to benefit the worker, and it's going to benefit the company. If the company go back to building the Buick Regal, they can use the Lordstown facility. At Lordstown, being that the base for the Grand National was the Buick Regal, then they can use a limited edition Buick Regal, order only or whatever, however they want to do it. But it's a limited edition, which makes the price worth the car. And it makes the car worth the price. The best-selling production car GM made and discontinued that can be retroed and brought back and produced at Lordstown. Oh, I got 1 million of them. I'm worse than Jimmy Durante. I got something for every local in this country, Ford, Chrysler, GM, or otherwise. I'll go down there and find out what they can do. It's something for everybody. The big people at the top don't need to keep cutting up the pie for us. We can start cutting it up and we can share with them an equal portion. They don't want to share with us an equal portion. So we got to tell them what portion we know we should be getting. But you can't conquer everything in a day, so you have to make your steps progressive. So the first installment with GM is the survey. And to get the survey viral is to heal the worker. And to heal the worker is to heal the planet. It's progressive. It's a process, and it works. I've done it. I've taught it. I've trained it. I've seen it. It's been proven. It worked. So now, if you fancy yourself wanting to see the fifth dimension and you want to get rid of the misery, get to sharing that doggone survey and write your own post describing what I'm telling you now in your own words so that people will know that this is the real fucking deal. When it goes back to the source, they know who to come to. It ain't no secret. They already been contacted, but they don't believe that the worker nor the general populace will support the worker in this endeavor. I don't agree. I don't agree. Anybody got a job or support right at work? Who won't support being treated right and fair and just at work? I think everybody with a job should do that. And so, we gonna be the good shepherd. We gonna prepare this plate right in front of their eyes. And if any of y'all got friends that work in media, share it with them. Tell them what it's about. Tell them this is the demands of the workers that the Queen of Heaven and Earth sent down. Make them whole. Make it fair. Make it just. And the only thing to be determined is the signing bonus. And there's a young lady at Orient that got to do that. And I ain't going to say her name because I don't want her to be too upset that I'm putting her out there like that. But she knows who she is. She picked a signing bonus. And we can get this shit on the roll. Make this shit viral. Share the survey. Explain it. The Mastermind group. In the name of righteousness. From the Queen of Heaven and Earth. The Mastermind group are all of those people who support the strikers at the UAW and a fair and just contract between the company and the worker. The 100 Monkeys are 100 striking UAW workers from GM taking the survey and agreeing to those terms, puts the company on notice, and it affects every auto worker globally. Chrysler got a special case to be dealt with at Chrysler's negotiation. All of them are going to be dealt with at the same time because they all coming together because they already got their instructions. They waiting on the worker to be able to perceive salvation of his labor in front of them. That's what they waiting on. They not going to deal until the worker wake up to the fifth dimension. Then they going to deal. But the side effect on the negative side, the longer it takes the worker, they have a negative effect about to emerge within days. And it's not going to be pretty. To avert the negative effect, we have to activate the positive. Alchemy. You turn the negative into the positive. You turn the shit into the gold. And this is how we do it. I hope it's clear enough for y'all to understand how it worked, and that y'all participation, every single person that take the survey and share the survey, is instrumental in taking us into the fifth dimension. Breaking the fucking matrix. We all get our eyes open now. This is how we do it. So hopefully we all in on it. Because whoever think this is a game, or they think that it's something other than the truth, they gonna be stuck here. Because they gonna be stubborn and hard-hearted and hard-headed. And mama said a hard head make a soft ass. I don't know if it make it soft, but I know it make it so. I've experienced that. So from here, let's see how many people really want to get from under the oppressor's foot. It's real simple. I couldn't make it no easier than a 8-9 question survey. That's the easiest thing I could come up with. I couldn't come up with nothing easier to get everybody on one page about some righteous shit other than the survey. That's 8, not even 10 questions, maybe 9. But I couldn't come up with a simpler way to move us into the fifth dimension than to make everybody want to be treated fair at work. That's it. I can't think of nothing simpler. That's the simplest thing I could think of. So if this can't go viral, I don't know, y'all people in trouble. Because I'm going to take my little 2-3 people that I done got. We out of here. All right, we can leave. I'm going to the fifth. Regardless. Yep, Chanel, you right. This it. This the big bang. This the resurrecting day. When this go viral, hopefully we go viral before these sleeper cell police start activating. That's the thing that I'm more concerned about right now than the worker. Because when they start activating these killer cops, whew, that's not going to be pretty this time. Because I got soldiers everywhere that's also been awakened. And they act on their own without orders in the face of injustice. This ain't like it was when Obama was leaving office and George Soros was trying to get that shit started so that they could take over. This ain't the same. So we can't allow this tragedy to begin to unfold when we have an opportunity to do something about it. This is how you fix it. This is what we do. We use the alchemy. We use the tools that was given us. We use the tools we used against us before, and we use them to our advantage. The same shit they use to oppress us, we use to break the bonds of oppression. It's right here in front of us. It's not hard. Take the survey, share the survey. 100 Monkeys is 100 UAW workers that's on strike. Mastermind group are all of the people that take the survey in support of them. The first column, make it clear in y'all posts, the first column is agree. The second column is disagree. We needed a list of demands. International didn't have a comprehensive list, so that's comprehensive. That's the beginning. That's just to get the negotiation started and to get the mastermind group woke. So that all these motherfuckers will wake up and see I ain't never been crazy and I ain't never been the enemy. And I always been formed 1,000% out the gate from word go. And I worked with them side by side. And I even went above and beyond for some of them. And even helped them on other stuff that ain't got shit to do with work. Because they good people. And all they need to be treated is fair. And all this miserable shit can be gone. Treat the worker fair. That's it. Don't nobody want no extra shit. Don't nobody looking for no handout. Give me what I earn. Don't take the bread out of my children's mouth and expect me to sit the fuck here silent. How am I going to explain that to my son? I didn't say nothing and I knew the answer. How do I explain that as a man when my son become a man and say, Dad, you knew the answer? You knew how to lay this shit down and you didn't do it? What's wrong with you? He going to be like Huey on... Damn, Pops, you old bitch-ass Pops. I ain't finna be bitch-ass Pops. I'm saying something. And I'm not gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna keep saying something until them people that's out there busting their ass for these pig trough filling bonuses, these executives getting flying all over the goddamn world, and a motherfucker can't retire with artificial hips and shit. What the fuck kind of shit is that? There's no righteousness in that, and there's no justice in that, and there's no fairness in that. Compensate the worker everywhere, and you heal the planet. Because when people can properly take care of home, they can properly take care of their family. And when you got a properly taken care of family, you produce a proper society. It's all fucking relative. Unified field theory. Mastermind group. 100 monkey effect. Execute. That's the plan. I couldn't make it no simpler than a little survey. That's the proposal. That's the proposal. So let's see what we can do. And I'm going to cut it here. Y'all know what to do from here. I did my part.